Hi, I'm Jen Cohan. I'm head of programs here at the Innovation Agency Coaching Academy, and I want to welcome you to this improvement in systems experience. So we've created some programming and some support and resources for you to help you navigate the process of implementing and utilizing information from your Restore2 tool. So we're really excited to work with you. We look forward to getting to know everybody on this course. As we've sort of set it up, it should be a couple of you from each of your care homes. You're all going to get to know each other as well, but a couple of you from each care home who will be sort of navigating the resources on this Moodle site. And we have several coaches who are going to support you through the process and give you feedback and help you sort of wrestle with any obstacles and questions that you might have. So again, I want to welcome you. I'm just here to tell you a little bit about what you can expect over the course of the next several months. So the purpose of our time here together is to try utilizing the Restore2 tool in an effort to gather information, figure out what works in your systems, in your organizations, and at your sites as far as using this tool, gathering data, helping you to make decisions based on that data. And what we know from a lot of the folks we've worked with in the past and a lot of research out there is that we just we work better together when we share information about how that process looks. Obviously, all of your sites are very different. The people that you interact with, the way that your organizations are set up, who are your stakeholders, how does communication flow, who has power, and all of those questions, while they're similar questions that we think about when we're making improvement and when we're trying to create positive change for the experiences of the people we care about in our communities, it always looks different everywhere we go. So there's no one way to implement improvement change. And so that's why we're all here together to try to do it and help each other out along the way and see how well it goes and see how it works, and if it works to the extent that we're hoping that it will work for the greatest maximum impact and benefit. So just a few things about what you can expect is that we've got 4 sort of what we would call modules or units of thinking or a focused topic that you're going to move through over the next weeks and couple months. So the first one is all about sort of thinking about systems in general, systems thinking. And if you've never encountered systems thinking, it's probably going to feel a little bit abstract for you, and that's okay. Don't sweat it. We're going to, take you through this process and help you define sort of who are the people in your system and who are the partners that you're working with, whether that's families, whether that's ambulatory partners, and it is certainly your staff and your colleagues. So that first unit is all about wrapping your head around this idea of systems thinking. The second module is about preparing to make change with other people because you're not doing this on your own. And then when we get into that third and fourth module, that's when you'll really be tracking information. You'll be moving through the quality improvement cycle of the plan, do, study, act, your sort of traditional quality improvement cycle. But the cool thing about we think the cool thing about this program is you're doing that quality improvement through the lens of working in a complex environment. It's not in isolation. It's not a controlled environment. It's really complex and it's always changing. So all the more reason that you should be surrounded by people who are trying to do the same thing in different environments and learning from each other. So as I mentioned, you'll have a couple of coaches at the ready. We've got some workshops planned where we'll bring folks together and process what you've learned. You can expect that each of those modules are probably going to take you as the person who's enrolled in the course, along with your other colleagues from your site, maybe 3 hours tops per module. So if you think about maybe 3 weeks per unit, possibly 4. We'll see how fast we get up and running. It's something where if you could just set aside a little bit of time together, that would be great. So the 3 of you who are sort of primarily driving this from your site, maybe you just put an hour in the calendar every other week. Do a little bit of reading on your own, watch some of the videos, come back together, discuss it. For each module, you're going to have one activity that you're going to do with a wider group. So this is where we would invite you to collaborate, and it's called the Collaboration Challenge for each of the modules. And that's where you want to bring your wider team together. And for each module, it might be a little bit of a different team, could be a wider staff group. We'll go through that process, cross those bridges when we come to it, but just know that there's going to be one activity for every month or so that you're going to want to do with a wider group, and it's not anything that should take more than about an hour. And so perhaps there's some staff meeting time you could protect to do that maybe once a month. Perhaps you have some other little huddles or multidisciplinary teams, or just any, you could also just invite staff members that are interested in going through the process with you. So lots of different ways you can do that. We'll help you along the way, especially about identifying who are the folks you want to work with more closely on this. So it's not too much of a heavy lift, but hopefully it will have great impact. And we're going to help you, especially with the gathering data, looking at it together. What are you learning from the information that you're gathering? So I think that's pretty much it. Do have a look through the program overview section here where you're finding this video. There are a couple of folders with extra resources and videos just about Restore 2 and your other coaches who are going to be supporting from the Coaching Academy, but then also from our Patient Safety Collaborative folks who you've been working with. So you'll see some familiar faces and some new faces. I'm going on a bit, so I want to just keep this shorter, but just again, want to welcome you and thank you. And we look forward to working with you in the coming months.